8, I think. How do you think the offense has just continued to progress so far in camp?
Really good. I mean, we're getting a lot of confidence. We know what we're doing. We put heavy install in spring for a reason. Coach Riles definitely kind of preached that. Those that he put an emphasis on. Doing heavy install this spring, just so when we get to camp, there's going to be little tweaks to the offense, and then majority of it we've already been running. So we have a lot of confidence in what we're doing right now.
I know you don't really in this system, but have you ever played in a system where you've been under center?
No, sir.
Okay, because I was curious if it's the same relationship with your center, and like, do you have that relationship yet? Have you been able to forge one?
Yes, sir. I mean, we're kind of swapping them right now with Pat and Colton Deary. So just trying to get that connection with both of them right now, and then the coaches will make their decision, and then whoever that is, we're gonna roll with them, and I'm gonna have all the confidence in the world in them.
Are you one of those guys that'll pull aside and go, "Hey man, I like it right here," or
Not really. I mean, I say I have the best hands on the team, so I just say just put it around me, and we'll be all right.
How are the receivers developing for you?
Oh, really good. Outsides are making a big step each day, making a lot of progress. Flash has done a tremendous job. Warren Thompson, he's coming along. He's doing a really good job. He's familiar with the system, so he's kind of helping those other guys on the outside with the plays and everything like that, and what he sees. We got a really good connection with all of them. I mean, Chase Jackson as well. I mean, just to name a few. I mean, all of them are making a big step. And then obviously our insides were really explosive and experienced there with JP, JoJo, and Major in them. So they're doing a really good job.
Josh kind of just mentioned it, but he brought up the national championship game. There's this picture, confetti's falling, you're consoling them, kind of telling you guys are going to be back. I'm curious, just what type of bond or relationship have y'all kind of established since that moment as, the leaders of the team?
Yeah, I mean, iron sharpens iron, and wolves hang with wolves. So I mean, he's got that mindset that I want everybody to have, and I look up to him. I learn a lot from him, and he just the leader that he is. Like he really inspires me. Like I look up to that guy. He's a great leader, great man off the field. So I mean, just being with him and letting him know I've got his back because I know he's got mine. So we have a really good connection.
Jim, so much clicked for this team last year, and I mean, with all the newness on offense, new offense coordinator, you're getting your chance to be the starter now again. So many changes with receiver emergency. How does it all come together? What does it take for that to come together?
Reps and mistakes. So it was definitely a grind. There was some growing pains in the spring, like I had mentioned before. But you've got to go through that stuff as a unit, because you can go break down the film. I can explain to the receivers what I'm looking at, what I'm looking for, and they can tell me what they're looking at, so I can hear them also. So it's not just one way. But definitely reps and just making mistakes and learning from them in the film room.
At this point last year, did you know, you were going to be the starter, or had that been decided?
At this point last year,
But,
no.
So how different does it feel? I mean, knowing obviously you've got to still earn your job, but
Yep.
you're in that position. How different does this spring or this fall feel as opposed to where you were last year when you were still fighting for a job?
I mean, not too different. I mean, my mindset was always compete, not compare. So I mean, that's my mindset this year. I mean, I'm competing with everybody in that quarterback room. I want to go prove that I'm the best on this team, and I want to go prove that I'm the best in the country. And kind of that mindset on the field also, that you've got to really break down those other teams. I want to go be the best in the conference. I want to go be the best in the country. So it's maybe if it's not a competition, but it's always a competition at the end of the day. I love my job, and I want to keep my job, and I want to push the people that are in my room.
do you have some responsibility though to help develop a third?
Absolutely.
And what is that? Like, what does that look like?
Trying to help them whenever they come off to the sideline. I mean, just let them know what I see also, and then hear them. And then Coach Browse and his staff's going to do a great job of that too. But sometimes quarterbacks like to hear from other quarterbacks coming off the field that are in the red jersey with them, because we've kind of all got that same eye back behind the center. So really just letting them kind of do what Max did with me. Kind of he vented. He'd come off the sideline and vent for a second, get it out, and then move on. So just kind of trying to be in that role.
How much has Josh pushed you in spring and fall camp?
A ton. I mean, he's made a lot of progress. He had a big jump in the spring. He did a great job. He's really familiar with this offense. Going back to his high school days, I think his head coach or offense coordinator was kind of from this tree. So he was very educated. He knows a lot about it and kind of has some experience in some way in this offense. So he's definitely been pushing me a lot.
Is this offense very different from last year, or is it mainly just tempo and maybe some different terminology?
Mainly just tempo and the terminology. I mean, at the end of the day, it's very similar, and it's the tempo and putting an emphasis on and getting our playmakers the ball, because we've got some dudes that we just got to get on the ball and they can make some plays for us.
So now that Mac's not here, were there any epic events that you remember that you almost kind of giggle about, laugh about now, or?
Not at the top of my head. I remember I think it might have been the Texas game after the fumble or something. I don't know. I don't want to say too much. just letting it out. I mean, frustration. But nah, he was a great leader, and he'd get it out and then move on to the next play, and like nothing happened.
So do you feel like you have somebody you can do that to?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
We get to see a decent amount of practice, but who are maybe some of those guys when you guys go indoors and having your scrimmage? Who are some of the guys that maybe we don't know that have been making plays?
I'd probably say Flash. Flash is definitely he's also similar to Warren. He's been in a system similar to this at UCF and Ole Miss. So he has a lot of experience. He does a great job of recognizing coverage, recognizing and when he's doing a great job without the ball. And a receiver, that kind of separates good and great is how are you without the ball. And he's doing a great job of that. And everyone responds well to him. They see he's hustling without the football, and that's what you want.
Chandler, there's so many people outside of this program that are going, what's TC going to do this year? You know, they see all the changes and everything. What's your guys' mindset going into this year, especially after the success of last year, but it didn't end the way you guys wanted it to end?
Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time. We saw the blueprint, what it takes last year. Got to see that, and just came out in the winter, in the summer. Those days we didn't want to wake up. You want to press snooze on your alarm, but you get up and you go and attack the workout or attack the practice. We're kind of in those dog days of camp right now, where everybody's tired. Everyone wants camp to end, but don't be everybody. You gotta be special and don't follow the pack.
We've seen a lot of different variations on the offensive line. When you see Coker and Coleman on the left side, what's your thoughts as a quarterback when you see those two big guys out there?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a ton of snaps, a lot of experience, and then I just have that trust in them. I mean, I trust them, and know they're going to do their job, just because, and that all that trust even starts in the winter and in the summer workouts when we don't have a football. Do they show up on time? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Are they leading? And they always do that, and they take care of the business, and they do their job.
How's your relationship with Sonny, and maybe how did it grow from last year? Because it was a delicate situation handling your injury, Max, and all that other stuff.
I mean, just kind of, it's very similar. I mean, he trusts me, and I trust him. I know he's going to put me in a great situation, in a great spot, and he trusts I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to take pride in doing my job. And so really, I just think he trusts me more, and he I think Coach Dykes definitely saw me kind of mature over last year, seeing kind of what I went through and seeing the season and watching Max and getting that opportunity to watch him. And I think he just has more trust in me. And then just going to him maybe like today at 2-minute drill, kind of working that, and we were kind of on the same page on what we wanted to do. Do we want to spike it? Do we want to take a shot? And kind of going to him during situations about football, just kind of the rules on it and situations.
We'll go 2